Hey, Charlie. We need to talk. Do you still live with mom and dad?
Oh, Putt. Why are you asking me that? Yeah, I do still live with them.
What? You really do still live with them? Unbelievable. How much longer are you planning to live there? You're pretty much 30 years old already. We're not children anymore. I can't believe you're still so dependent on mom and dad. Are you not embarrassed at all?
Dependent on mom and dad? I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. What makes you think that? I think I am very independent already.
Why don't you understand what I'm telling you? I also want you to answer my question. I'm asking you how much longer you're planning on living with our parents. You really need to move out and stop causing them trouble. You're unemployed and you barely even leave the house you grow up.
Wait, Putt. I think that there have been lots of misunderstandings. I'm not unemployed at all. I work remotely from home. I don't leave the house that often, but that's because I'm working most of the time.
What do you think you're saying? I know that's a lie for sure. I'm not going to believe you. You're not the kind of person that's able to work from home.
What does that even mean? I really don't understand why you're even texting me right now. Hurry up and just get to the point. Why are you even complaining about me still living with mom and dad? I thought that you were planning to move back in with us.
Yeah. I'm going to be moving back in from next month. I really don't like the fact that I've got to start living with you again.
Then you're going to be in the same situation as me. I don't get why you're mocking me for living with mom and dad. There's also a good reason why I'm still here.
Stop putting me in the same category as you. Our situations are completely different. My new workplace is kind of close to our parents' house. And that's why I'm planning to move in temporarily. I don't plan on living there forever like you. Can't believe that I'm going to have to live with an old man like you.
You're calling me an old man? We're only 2 years apart.
That doesn't really matter right now. I just don't like the fact that you're 30 years old and still unemployed. Are you not embarrassed that you're still so dependent on mom and dad?
I don't know why you think I'm unemployed. I work a full-time job and earn a decent salary. Why can't you just accept the fact that I work remotely from home? It's a normal thing to do these days. I am not dependent on our parents at all. I hope that you can be more understanding of my situation. We're going to be living together again after all. I was hoping that we could get along.
Why should I try to get along with you? You're pretty much a parasite to this family. All you are is a nuisance. There's literally no reason for me to get along with you.
You don't need to worry about any of that. I am not a nuisance at all. If you have no intention of getting along with me, then please just leave me alone. At least we have our own rooms. We can mind our own business.
Actually, you're a nuisance just by living in the same house. Your being in the house has a negative effect on everyone else. I'm going to be going out the house every day to work while you're being lazy at home. That's not fair at all.
I'm sorry, but I'm starting to lose my patience now. I told you that I'm working from home. I am not being lazy at all. You really should stop caring so much about what I do. Just focus on your own life and career.
Oh, Charlie. I don't need someone like you to be giving me advice. Charlie. Are you at home right now?
Yeah, I'm. What's wrong? Do you need me for something?
You want to go on a road trip today?
What's the matter with you all of a sudden? I thought you hated me. You kept on ignoring all my messages till today.
There's no reason really. I just felt like asking you. We're siblings after all. I thought that we should spend some time together once in a while.
I'm really surprised to be receiving a message like this from you. It's really rare for you to ask me to come out with you.
So let's go on a short road trip.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I kind of felt like driving actually. I'll be done with working around an hour. I'll be free after that.
Did you really just say work? There's no need for you to pretend like that. I know that you're still unemployed.
So you still think that? I'm really not the pathetic kind of person that you think. I land a job with decent salary. I'm also financially supporting our parents now. I think they're very happy that I still live with them.
What are you talking about? That's all lies. If you were really working a decent job, you wouldn't still be living with. You don't even leave the house at all.
There's actually a reason why I'm living like how I am. I can't really tell you the reason, but I hope that you can understand and respect my situation.
Whatever, Charlie. Stop with the fake stories now. I'll come and pick you up in an hour. Make sure that you're ready by that time.
Fine, I guess I'll start getting ready. Where are you even planning on going?
Do you remember that mountain we used to go hiking?
Of course, how can I forget? I thought that mountain trail got closed off though.
But there are some other trails that we can go to. I heard it's a little dangerous, but I think we should give it a go.
Isn't that place a little far away though? It's near where we used to live when we were back in high school.
Don't worry. It's not that far away. I don't think it's going to take 2 hours to drive there.
Why do you even want to go hiking there all of a sudden? Did you suddenly want to feel like a child again or something?
Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere nostalgic. It might be a little cold, so make sure that you bring a coat.
Are we planning to be walking around for a while? This really is so sudden. I'm still kind of surprised.
I just thought it would be nice to have some time to ourselves. It's going to be a nice opportunity for us to start getting along well again.
I'm still a little confused, but it's starting to seem kind of fun. I sort of wanted some time to be able to talk to you after all. This is going to be a good opportunity for that. I'll be waiting for you to arrive.
Okay.
Answer my call now, Putt. Are you insane?
What? Why are you able to call me? I have your phone. There's no way you should be able to do this.
I have a second phone that I carry around with me.
Anyway, there's no point in you calling me. I don't have any intention of picking up.
Are you serious? Is this a prank or something?
I can't believe that you have a second phone. Well, I can't text you anymore. I'm driving right now.
What? You piece of trash. Where the heck are you? I can't believe that you ditched me in the middle of this mountain.
Yeah, I just got to the bottom of the mountain with my car. And I'm just about to get back onto the main road now.
What? Why you did that to me? This place is kind of scary. Are you out of your mind?
Well, I have to do that to kick you out of the house. I'm sorry, but I have no choice. You have no place in this house anymore now. Go and find a job and place to live by yourself. You really needs to start being more independent.
I can't believe you're doing this to me. What is wrong with you, Putt? I guess this was your intention in the first place. I should have known your plan was to abandon me. You're such a psycho.
Yeah, that was my plan from the very start.
It was stupid of me to trust you in the first place. I should have known that something was wrong.
It's too late to realize now, Charlie. There's no need for you to come back home anymore. You understand how I feel about you now, right? Don't ever show your face in front of me again. You're a huge nuisance to our entire family.
I totally understand how you feel about me now. I'm going to come home to collect my belongings then. Don't bother going into my room, by the way. I'll move out as soon as I collect everything.
Actually, I'll dispose of all your belongings for you.
There's no need to do that. One of my friends is heading over to collect all of my belongings for me. There are some important documents that I need for work in my room. I can't have you disposing of important documents.
I can't believe you're still pretending that you have a job. How much longer are you planning to use that lie? I guess I don't really care either way as long as you move out. Just make sure that you never come back home. You need to realize that you're a nuisance to me and our parents. You're such a useless piece of trash.
You don't need to worry about me at all. I'm pretty sure that I'm never going to be seeing you ever again. I actually cared for you because you're my little brother. None of that matters anymore.
Charlie. Charlie.
I'm sorry, but who's that?
Stop messing around. It's kind of an emergency. There's no way you've forgotten who I am. Your brother. Put.
What do you want from me? I thought that we weren't going to see or talk to each other ever again.
That doesn't matter anymore. I wasn't serious about that at all. I'm in some serious trouble right now. I need your help.
So you're asking for help after you abandoned me in the middle of a mountain? What do you want from me?
Who cares about that? You were fine, right? You managed to get out of the mountain alive.
That doesn't make it fine at all. It was dark and I had no signal on my phone. It could have ended really badly.
So what? Do you want me to apologize or something? I'm sorry for what I did to you.
I don't need your apology.
Well, okay. I don't have all day, you know. I'm in a lot of trouble thanks to you. It's your fault and you need to take responsibility.
What are you talking about? I never did anything to get you into trouble.
Is it really true that you were the one making the loan payments for this house?
You're asking me that now?
I had no idea about it. I thought that you were unemployed all this time. How did you earn the money to pay the loan for the bank? It's not cheap at all.
You're asking me that now? Don't you have any memory? You really need to start listening a little more.
How dare you say that to me? I'm much smarter than you. None of that matters right now. Mom and Dad are telling me to pay the loan fees and the utility bills for the house. They're saying that I am responsible because I was the one that kicked you out. It doesn't make any sense.
Put, it makes total sense. I was paying for everything related to that house right up until you kicked me out. Did you not hear that I had started up my own company?
What? You have your own company?
Yeah, I'm the CEO of company in the town. I've always told you that I work remotely from home. It's been several years since I started up my company and it's been really successful so far. I probably earn around 10 times more than what an average person earns.
What? Are you being serious? But if you have that much money, why don't you pay off the loan for the house?
Well, I can pay off that loan anytime I want. But I prefer to invest my money to the company. Then I can gain the profit from my business. And of course, the profit I get is much more than the monthly loan. I'm serious. There's no point in me lying about something like this.
I can't believe that you're a CEO of a company. Why didn't you tell me about this up till now? I also don't understand why you're still living with our parents. It doesn't make any sense. Surely. You can live wherever you want then if you earn that much money. You should be living in your own house already.
I had no other choice because Mom and Dad are on a huge amount of debt.
What? What did you just say?
I'm only living with them so that I can help them pay back all the money that they owe. I've been paying for all their living expenses as well. Dad is currently using his entire salary to pay off the debt. That's the reason I was living with them up until recently.
What? I thought that Dad had a pretty good salary. There's just no way they could be in debt.
You really do live in your own world, Put. You don't know anything our parents. Parents made a pretty big mistake, their business. And that's why they're in debt right now. There's a pretty big difference in the amount of money that me and you earn. I think that it's going to be financially difficult for you to live in that house right now.
I didn't know anything about this at all. It's not fair. Why didn't you warn me about this before I decide to move in?
I was waiting for an opportunity to talk to you about it. But you never seemed to answer any of my text messages. I thought I could talk to you about it when you asked me to go on that short road trip. I did not expect to get abandoned like that at all.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I actually had no bad intentions at all. It was all just a misunderstanding.
You stole my phone and left me alone in the mountain. I'm pretty sure that's got to be a crime. What do you think would have happened if I didn't have my second phone with me? I don't really see you as my brother anymore. You're a complete stranger to me.
Don't be like that. We're siblings. I also have no idea how I'm going to pay for any of this. I thought that I wouldn't have to pay for any of my living expenses if I lived with Mom and Dad.
You need to solve this problem by yourself. I'm done with you. After that, Put had to pay all the living expenses and loans for parents. He also begged me to move back in with them, however I had already blocked his number. Then, Put ended up having to borrow a large amount of money. He really should have thought about it more carefully before kicking me out of the house. I have nothing to do with him anymore. He needs to learn a lesson of respect.
Hey, are you still residing at home without making any progress?
What the hell? That was out of the blue. How's it going, bro? I'm doing all right, and yeah, I'm still residing with Mom and Dad.
That's completely astounding. You're nearly 30 and still haven't moved out of the house.
I'm still 28, but yeah, we're both getting older.
That's not the issue here. Don't you realize the issue of nearing middle age, residing in your childhood home, isolated and disconnected from society? Aren't you ashamed to consider that as a way of living?
I don't understand why you feel compelled to portray my situation in such a negative light. What does it have to do with you?
Oh, but it does. More than you can imagine.
What do you mean?
You and I are very different at our cores.
You just criticized me for being a middle-aged recluse and insisted that I should feel ashamed about it. You're heading towards the exact same situation you're lecturing me about.
You and I are very different at our cores. I hold a steady job and actively contribute to society, working for one of the fastest growing companies in the country. On the flip side of the coin, there's you. Someone who refuses to work, relies on their hard-working parents, and burdens society with their laziness and lack of ambition.
Lay off, man. How many times have I said this? I work from home.
Ooh, professional house sitting. YouTuber? What other pseudo jobs do you do?
You know as well as anyone that society is shifting to remote work whenever possible because it saves time and increases efficiency. Also, I'm self-employed, so that's a bit different.
Oh, I got it. OnlyFans.
Whatever, have your fun. Why did you all of a sudden decide to move back home?
I'm the eldest, so it's my duty to take over the house now that Dad is getting along in years and will retire at the end of the decade. Someone needs to look after them and everyone knows you can't be counted on. You know, responsibility? Yeah, I got it. You don't.
Now you want to play the good son. You never call them and only visited on holidays. You never even spent the night. Always renting a room at a nearby hotel because you didn't want to stay.
I just didn't want to impose on them because they have to deal with you on a daily basis. But now since I'm moving back, I don't want to have to share the same living space as a good-for-nothing shut-in. Just being in the same room as you during our family gatherings gives me an ulcer and causes me to break out in hives. Because of that, can you move out and make all of our lives easier?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Isn't that a bit too selfish? You want to come back home now, so I have to leave immediately? Truthfully speaking, I don't really mind one way or the other. I'll leave if Mom and Dad agree to it. But have you even spoken to either of them about moving back in and taking my place?
They both love me, so it's not going to be a problem at all. It's too embarrassing for me to even acknowledge you as my brother, so I have to act like you don't even exist. The people I work with don't even know I have a brother. Believe me, it's best if you just piss off somewhere away from our family and let me have my way here. It's in everyone's best interest.
For the last time, I have a job. For God's sake, I've never had to try so hard to explain myself to someone and still not have them understand what I'm saying. And you're my brother, for crying out loud.
You've been trashed at everything since as far back as I can remember. You were always chasing my shadow, mimicking everything I did, and failing spectacularly every time. If only you had my brains and talent, you wouldn't have had such a sorry life.
Well, I did get accepted first try to the university you failed to get into, so I'm not sure where you got off saying I'm not as smart as you.
Who cares about what uni you went to? It means nothing if you go to a good school but do nothing with the education and become a parasite leech. I still managed to get hired by a Fortune 500 company and have something to show for my education, unlike some freeloaders that shall remain unnamed.
Okay, sure. Whatever you say, bro. We are two different people living separate lives with different goals and values. If we both enjoy what we do and follow our dreams, then everything is peaches.
Wrong! I'm working my butt off and proving my worth to everyone while you're still an unemployed leech. Learn from your big brother for once and become independent. It's about time you quit sponging off our parents and get a life.
For the last time, I'm not sponging off anyone here. There's nothing to sponge up here, to be honest.
What does that even mean? Everyone in our family has become successful in their field except you. Dad is the vice president of a big contracting firm, Mom is the head nurse at the city hospital, and I'm a veteran employee at a tech giant. Then there's you. Probably a neckbeard SJW moderator who only leaves his room to nuke his nuggies and evacuate his bowels.
Glad to know you think so highly of me. Unfortunately, that bird misses the mark completely.
You may have graduated from a good university, but that is wasted on a shut-in that can find a good job to pay for their own underwear.
I really don't know why you're trying to stereotype me into being a shut-in, but I leave the house quite often when business requires me to do so.
But that doesn't change the fact that you spend most of your time inside, does it? Stop trying to defend yourself. It's sad to hear you try to come up with excuses. Mom told me about your daily schedule, and she never lies.
For heaven's sake, it's for work. I used to frequent a shared office space to get my business done, but I find that I can focus better working from my own room.
Oh, buzzwords and Gen Z work ethic. Trying to make it sound cooler than it actually is cringy. I know how it really is, so nothing you say can make your position sound better than it really is.
I see nothing I say will convince you otherwise, so let's wrap this up. I still have quite a bit of unfinished work, so I'll take my leave if there's nothing else.
Yeah, I guess being a professional recluse is a 24/7 job, so you better hurry up and get back to doing nothing. About me moving back, I hope everything is in order for me to take over.
Moving? You're actually serious about that?
Of course I was serious. Why would I lie about something like this?
As I told you before, you never showed any interest in dealing with Mom and Dad.
Whatever, I'll be moving in tomorrow.
That's a bit on the sudden side, isn't it?
So you and all your crap needs to be out before the trucks arrive.
What the hell, dude? That's asking a lot on such short notice. As I asked before, did you get Mom and Dad's approval for all of this? Do you really know what's going on in this household currently?
A non-issue if that. Of course I know what's going on. I'm the eldest son. Mom was overjoyed when she heard I was gonna move back in. I guess she's happy that the useful son is gonna take the place of the gargoyle that drains her happiness and sanity.
I see, so you really want me to leave and you're gonna take my place?
That's right. Nobody needs you, so get lost and make way. I'm sorry, you're feeling frustrated and abandoned?
Not really, I thought it would hurt more, but I actually feel kind of free, like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. You understand that once I leave, I'm never coming back, right?
It's what we're all hoping for.
So everyone is really okay with me leaving this house and burning all bridges behind me?
Quit trying to sound so dramatic. You're acting like your simple existence brings some kind of value to the table. Spend more time packing and less time trying to make me feel sympathy for you. It's not gonna work. You're the black sheep in a family of accomplished individuals. A louse like you brings down the prestige of our family, and probably even the land value with your unwashed flesh.
Excellent.
What?
I'm so glad to hear that from you. I was recently thinking that I really want to get out of here, so thanks for the seal of approval. Okay, I'll be out of here with all my stuff before midnight. Thanks for taking over and taking care of Mom and Dad.
Wait, can you really leave that suddenly? When you have no money? Don't think of asking Mom or Dad for money.
I told you I can leave on my own with no help from anyone. I'm not sure where you're getting your information from, but I have plenty of money.
How could you? You're a bum.
For the last time, I am not a freeloading sponge. So, as per your wishes, I will be leaving this house to your care. As an addendum, don't bother me with any of the problems you may encounter as the new man of the house.
I don't see how you have anything I would need or if any of your skills would be of value to me. Just leave and open a window before you go, so your funk doesn't make me gag. Hurry up and pick up. We need to talk ASAP.
I have nothing to say to you. I told you not to get me involved anymore. I'm finally gonna be able to live my best life. You had your time, now it's mine.
This is not how any of this was supposed to go.
What are you talking about?
Mom and Dad are living at me and want me to convince you to come back.
No, and why? You have a job and bring in a handsome salary, don't you? They should be happy to have a reliable son like you looking after them. So, it's no longer necessary for me to hang around there and keep them afloat.
It's not that.
Oh, perhaps you didn't tell them that me moving out was part of the deal of you moving back in? No, that can't be it. Ultra-reliable big brother Alex would never make a mistake like that. He would never kick his little brother out of their childhood home in a show of power and not tell their parents about it. I wasn't quite a hurry last night getting my stuff packed to go and didn't have time to talk to the rents. I simply assumed that you would have of course told them about the change they would have to witness.
Well, it seems that Mom didn't know that you would leave when I moved back in. She was so excited to hear that I was coming to live with them again. Apparently she thought that we would be able to live together as a full family again. So she was overjoyed imagining how things were going to be again.
Yeah, that's something you should have explained better. Anyhow, I'm not going back. Make sure you make the monthly mortgage payments on the house, so you can all continue to have a roof over your heads.
Mortgage? I thought the house was paid off.
You didn't even know about that?
I haven't heard anything. Mom is in hysteric panic, and Dad looks like he's about to blow a gasket. I was told just to get a hold of you. What is this nonsense about paying a mortgage?
Up until now, I was the one paying off the mortgage they took out on the house.
How is an unemployed freeloader supposed to pay off anything? But more importantly, why did they take out a mortgage on the house?
Let me answer those in order. For the umpteenth time, I have a job. In fact, it's extremely well paying. A few years back, a security program I wrote was picked up by the Department of Defense. Since then, I've been raking it in programming security algorithms for all kinds of companies. I also make brisk business being a consultant and advisor on the side. I'm making money hand over fist at the moment and have plenty saved away in a rainy day fund. That is more like a tropical storm vault now. Because I'm making good money now, I've been able to help out Mom and Dad in these tougher times. Now, it's your turn to support them.
Why wasn't I told about any of this? You were just a freeloading parasite after university, right?
There is nothing to freeload off of at that house.
Dad makes enough money from his job as a contractor that there should be no need to mortgage the house, right?
You really need to learn to stop and listen to people around you, instead of running your mouth and trying to force your way by talking fast and loud. Dad took an early retirement a few years back and blew his entire severance package at the racetracks. He even went into debt to the bookies and is now working part-time as janitor at the supermarket to try and feed his habit.
You can't be serious.
Mom had to resign from her job at the hospital because of the embarrassment her husband caused us. She is now working the till at the local gas station to help pay off Dad's debts. I can't believe you really didn't know anything.
No, this can't be real. This is nothing like it was supposed to be. This is not my plan.
Plan? May I ask you what your plan was?
I plan to quit my job at the firm and take it easy at home for a good while.
You wanted to do what you thought I was doing?
If I came home, then I'd at least have a place to stay for free and eat 3 square meals a day. I figured I could use this time off to figure out what I wanted to do next.
So the truth comes out. My cocky elite brother was really just a gopher at the bottom of the pecking order.
Where did you hear that?
A good friend of mine from university was hired by the same company as you. He said there was a guy that had been there for years, but was always screwing up paperwork, providing the wrong documents, and being a general pain to everyone around him. He was suspicious at first because that useless employee's last name was the same as mine, but could it really be? I heard him out and asked for the full name of the landmine employee before him. Lo and behold, the name matched that of my dear older brother.
Who was that? Tell me now.
Doesn't really matter, does it? You know that most of the people around you felt that, didn't you? That's why you're quitting. To escape the ridicule and mocking stares.
On top of that, I never thought I would have to pay for things when I moved back home. I have no savings at all.
Maybe you should have used your salary more economically instead of blowing it on a luxury car, designer clothes, and stupid watches.
What should I do? The contract on my apartment was up, so I bailed before I had to pay another deposit on it. I had nowhere else to go. The only option is for you to come back and help out the family.
That's a nope from me, bro. You told me to leave, and I did. On the condition that I would never return once I left, and we would never communicate again. You were happy to agree to that. Now you come begging on your knees after insulting me for years.
I didn't know Dad wasn't dead and both our parents are only working part-time jobs.
That mortgage money was supposed to go to paying off Dad's debts, but he secretly took it to all the races and lost it all on one race. So the mortgage isn't the whole debt you need to deal with. You still have to pay off the principal on Dad's debts to the bookies. Have fun.
All of it? Are you serious?
Yes. It's quite the sum. With my earnings, I kept the interest payments at bay and was making some headway against the principal. It's now your responsibility, big bro. So as the responsible eldest child, you will now buckle down and wade through the mocking and ridicule at work so you can earn a paycheck to support your parents, right?
That's impossible. I turned in my resignation yesterday. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Why does nothing work the way I want it to?
Life doesn't care about your plans, and those around you have no obligation to bend to your petty demands. I've spent the last 5 years of my life paying off Dad's mistakes while weathering your vitriol. Now it's your turn to pony up and my turn to enjoy the wealth that I've justly earned. I also told you to make sure everything was okay with Mom and Dad. I figured you would learn the truth then, but you obviously didn't let Mom explain anything and ran your mouth. This is what happens when you don't communicate properly with those around you. Same as your, I guess former now, job.
I thought Dad was a super successful businessman. So I had a safe fallback. Why did things turn out like this?
Gambling addiction is a real disease. Half my efforts have been to try and keep Dad from taking his paychecks directly to the horses. But he still tries every 2 weeks to sneak out to the races. I was even paying for therapy and rehab, but he always skipped out on them saying he had no problem, and he was sure the next time would be his big payoff. He may be a lost cause.
Then what should I do?
I don't know.
Don't act like this doesn't concern you.
But it doesn't. You took responsibility for everything once you kicked me out. I double and triple checked that you understood that once I left, I was never coming back. I have zero intention of helping you out and will not return under any circumstance. Use your elite skills and status to power through this, all right, buddy?
Do you really think you can abandon me at a time like this? I am your older brother. You must respect me and do what I want you to do.
As you said yourself, I'm just mimicking what my older brother does.
What do you mean?
So I'm abandoning my position and claim no responsibility of a situation that is clearly difficult, but can be solved through hard work and sacrifice. Just like you, big brother, I learned it from you. Take some advice from yourself here and get off your butt and do something with your life. You'll be unable to fulfill your dream of leeching off Mom and Dad, so you might need to revise your plans. Ironic that you ridiculed me for the imaginary lifestyle you then wanted to take up, only to find out that you have more trouble and responsibility than the life you're leaving because it was too hard for you. Subsequently, Alex returned to his job in an embarrassed state, imploring to have his resignation revoked. He professed to experiencing a change of heart and discovered newfound motivation to become a valuable asset to the company. Naturally, his request was denied, and his resignation was accepted, leading to his departure from the company. Evidently, he endured ridicule from his colleagues throughout the final fortnight as someone inadvertently divulged the reasons behind his resignation and the predicament he had encountered. Jim declined to lend a hand, exacerbating the family's predicament. They were incessantly pursued by his father's outstanding debts, and Jack had to secure the first available job that would accommodate him. Hopefully, this humbling ordeal will impart a valuable lesson to those who are excessively arrogant, prompting them to restrain their pride. Alternatively, they might find themselves in a situation akin to Alex's.
Hi Cora, do you have a minute?
Hi, Deli, how are you? How are your wedding preparations coming along?
That's the thing. You are Ken's mother and I am sorry, but I don't want you to come to our wedding.
Huh? What do you mean? I am the mother of the bridegroom, remember?
But I'm sorry. You are a single mother, right?
Why are you asking me that? I mean, yeah, I have raised him on my own.
Moreover, I heard that your marriage was a shotgun wedding. But you ended up becoming single and raised Ken on your own, didn't you?
That's right, but what does it matter? Are you trying to say that there was something wrong with the way I raised him?
That's not what I mean. But that kind of thing is not good for your reputation to the public.
What? Reputation?
A shotgun wedding that ended in divorce and becoming a single mother is kind of sad and off-putting.
Are you being serious?
Can I say that I don't want my family to know that Ken is from such a family? Frankly, I'm embarrassed by that.
Embarrassed? I don't think Ken would think that way.
No, I'm embarrassed. I haven't told my parents or friends about this. So if you don't come to the wedding, I won't have to explain to everyone. I'm trying to avoid the hassle. I want you to pretend that you and Tim are disconnected, so please don't come to the wedding.
Ken is my only son. Did he agree to this?
I haven't told them yet. Don't tell him anything unnecessary. I will explain it to him.
You can't do that. Your actions are the same as denying my existence.
Well, I guess that's true. Because he is on a career path and on his way up the corporate ladder. But you're not. From now on, you will only be his baggage.
Baggage? I thought I had raised my son well so far, even though he had a single parent. I never thought I would hear this from someone who's going to be my son's wife.
Well, to be honest, I looked down on you ever since I found out that you were a single mother. That's why I don't want to invite you to my wedding. It's too miserable to be a woman whose husband ran away from her after a shotgun marriage.
Huh? You didn't hear anything from Ken.
Because it's taboo among us to talk about you. I don't want to hear a story about some poor, miserable woman. And when I hear it, I don't know how to respond. It darkens my mood.
How can you say these things? Moreover, Ken is a good, family-oriented guy, and I don't think he would ever think like that.
He's fine without you. He has a connection through his work, and I got a free dress from a world-famous designer. So we don't need your help at all.
You haven't heard that story properly from him either. You should have a proper talk with him before you speak to me this way.
It's a waste of time to have that kind of conversation with him. It's too embarrassing that you got a shotgun wedding and became a single mother. This is how I feel, and Ken should agree with me. Therefore, I will not invite you.
You should talk to Ken. There is nothing more I can say to you. I suggest you have a proper talk with him before you do something you'll regret. Hey, Ken. About your fiancée, Deli. Has she said anything strange to you?
What? Deli? Nothing in particular, no. What's wrong? Did she do something?
About the dress, about your father. Are you talking to her properly?
I'm trying to talk, but she won't listen to me. She doesn't want to hear about it, especially when it comes to my family. But I'll tell her before the wedding.
You'd better. He seems to be wrong about a lot of things.
She's the type of person who, when she gets an idea, just goes with it. Well, that's one of the cute things about her, but I have to admit, she's a bit of a handful sometimes.
I see. If you're happy, that's good, but... Anyway, please explain things to her properly.
You're right. She and I are going to be a family from now on, and I have to explain it to her. I'll have to tell her not to say anything bad towards you.
She's already said something to me.
What? What did she say?
It's nothing. Well, I know you're busy with your work, but don't overdo it.
Hey, you're not planning on coming to the wedding, are you?
Huh? You still haven't talked to Ken properly, have you?
No, but that's not the point. Whether I talk to him or not, I'm not allowing you to come to my wedding.
Why do you hate me so much? Maybe you should listen to what people say.
I don't want someone with your background and reputation at my wedding.
You really are rude. You seem unwilling to listen.
I told you I don't want to hear it. You'll ruin the wedding, so please don't come.
Oh, okay. Then I won't go.
I don't want to speak with you after this either.
Do as you please. I know you're a crazy person, but I put up with you because you were the one Ken chose. I am no longer interested in you. If you want to disassociate yourself for me, you can do so. I have no problem at all.
I'll do so then. This has taken a lot of the burden off of us. Goodbye. Don't come to my wedding, shameful woman.
Goodbye. You don't have to contact me anymore.
Hey, Cora. Would you please pick up the phone?
Who is this?
It's me, Deli.
You have no right to call me by my first name. We're strangers.
I'm sorry for everything. Really? You can come to the wedding today, right?
No, I don't intend to.
What? Why?
Because you told me so yesterday. Moreover, you were very rude and outspoken to me. I only did you a favor not attending the wedding. What's the problem?
I didn't know about the dress.
Oh, I see. It was a shame to learn on the day of the wedding that the world-class designer Ken was referring to was me.
I'm so sorry, Cora. I can't believe I was going to have you bring me a dress that you designed.
I told you, don't call me by my first name. I don't intend to become family with you.
Please don't say that. Ken said he was planning this dress thing to be a surprise. So he didn't tell me. So this is not my fault.
That being said, it's not a right to blame Ken. Regardless of the circumstances, the fact remains that you are super rude and disrespectful to me. Nothing you say now will change my mind.
Please don't say that. I can't have a wedding without a dress. Where is my dress?
It has already been delivered to the venue. I am a professional. I would not personally deliver a dress. But I don't think you need that anymore.
What? What do you mean?
I just heard from Ken. He said the wedding is going to be cancelled.
What? I didn't hear that.
You never listen, do you? I'm sure he was telling you exactly what he was doing this time, too.
No, you're kidding, right? I didn't think he meant it. It must be a joke.
Ken has already contacted the guests on his side of the table. You two need to contact yours as soon as possible, or your guests will arrive at the wedding venue. I think they might get a little upset with you.
Wait a minute. I really didn't think the wedding would be cancelled. I think Ken got too emotional. If he calms down, he will understand.
He has a calm personality. He is not the kind of person who judges things emotionally. He's properly informed his invited guests that the wedding is cancelled. I guess he has completely lost all intention of marrying you.
Oh no. You have to talk him out of it. Please do something.
What do you want me to talk to him about?
You have to convince him to marry me. Suddenly canceling on the day of the wedding is just cruel.
How dare you ask me for a favor? Do you remember what you said to me?
That doesn't matter now. If I can marry him, I will apologize to you afterward.
You're a real piece of work. I have no intention of helping you at all. You caused this, so you have to take care of it yourself.
Huh? You won't help me?
You and I are strangers. And it seems to me that I should prevent him from marrying you, to protect my own son.
Why do you say that?
He would have regretted it if he got married to you. He's still young, so he's still so naive. Oh, and while we're on the subject, please take care of the dress fee, okay?
What?
If you were to marry him, I would have given you the dress as a gift. But now that the wedding is cancelled because of you, you will pay for the dress that I was going to gift you.
The wedding is really cancelled?
I'm sure Ken has explained that to you as well. You must have signed a contract.
He might have mentioned it.
It's obvious. The dresses I design are expensive. Just because you're my son's bride doesn't make you safe. In the contract, it also mentions if the wedding is cancelled, that there would be a cancellation fee in that case.
I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't know.
It's your own fault, right? I will charge you the full amount as stated in the contract.
What? How much is that going to be?
That's about 3 years of your annual income, I guess.
I just quit my job. How dare you?
Then you'll have to work again. By the way, I don't blame you for not listening to Ken properly. But I was a single mother because my husband passed away. And yet you look down on me that I got a shotgun wedding. You should be a little ashamed of your little outbursts.
Huh? I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
You should reflect on yourself and stop judging people without even knowing them well. Well then, before you embarrass yourself, you might want to inform your guests that the wedding has been cancelled. Goodbye, you shameful woman. When Deli learned of all the circumstances, she was in a panic. She pleaded with Heather to come to the wedding, but was ignored. Moreover, Ken, the groom, also found out about Deli's true nature. He called off the wedding. The cost of canceling the wedding was to be split between them. But Deli ended up being charged the fee for the dress as well. And the big house they were going to live in, it was to be sold off, and Deli was devastated. She shamelessly asked the company she left because she was getting married to hire her again. She was then laughed at by people at work. Her ego was ruined. She was also very upset, but it was too late to regret it. Heather is glad she was able to stop her precious son from marrying an evil. She later moved abroad and forgot all about Deli. She is now able to focus on her work. When will Deli finish paying off her dress debt?
I overheard that an enigmatic old witch had managed to infiltrate the wedding. I presume that person was referring to you. Quickly concoct an excuse and leave this place, as your presence will only bring embarrassment upon your helpless sister.
Oh! Hello, Harry. As charming as ever. However, I must admit that I don't quite understand your point. Are you implying that my presence here will only lead to Julie's embarrassment?
That's right. You being significantly older than Julie may create issues. And I won't allow any trouble at our wedding as we are committed to spending our lives together. Not even her friends or family.
I understand now. You are correct about one aspect. Julie is truly a remarkable and exquisite young woman. I can comprehend why you would feel the need to be fiercely protective of her.
Julie's sister turned out to be an unexpectedly wrinkled grandmother. A stark contrast to Julie's beauty that cannot be overlooked. The contrast only amplifies the discomfort of seeing you. So, for Julie's sake, please leave the wedding. And don't you go upsetting her by telling her I said anything either.
Excuse me? Are you saying what I think you're saying? You haven't even talked any of this over with Julie?
Of course. I haven't said a single word about it to her. What did I just tell you? That's why you need to come up with something. Just say you have a cold or something like that.
Are you being serious with me right now? Have you even been paying attention to how excited both Julie and I have been for her special day? I practically raised Julie. I'm like a parental figure to her at this point. It would just break her heart if I wasn't there with her to celebrate.
Are you listening to me? That's why I'm saying you need to come up with an excuse, so she doesn't get sad about it. I guess a dropout like you might need things explained in simpler terms.
What did you just say?
You didn't think that I knew about how you dropped out of high school. Both Julie and I graduated from one of the best schools in the country. So when I first met, I thought you must have had a similar path as us and had gone to a nice school. And then I hear you're just a wrinkly high school dropout. To be honest, I couldn't hold back my laughter.
Well, I hope you took our situation into account and understand that I did what I needed to do to take care of her. I had to make some big life changes in order to make sure that Julie was taken care of and raised properly. And because of my lack of a diploma, the only work I could get at first was as a maid. But those decisions weren't easy ones for me, you know?
Wait! Hold on! I understand that maybe all you could do at the time was be a maid. But how many years has it been now? How many chances have you had to better yourself? You're telling me you couldn't find any other job in all these years? All you can do is clean up after people. No, come on. Be serious with yourself at least. You're just old, dumb, and lazy.
What do you mean? Do you think I never found another job?
I think I don't really care about your sob story, okay, Grandma? The only thing I have to say to you is that you need to get out of here. All you're doing is bringing the mood down. I know how I want my wedding to go, and it won't be the amazing party I want it to be if you're here.
I completely understand how you feel about wanting an amazing wedding day. But do you really think that my looks are affecting the mood? I'll be honest, it really hurts my feelings to hear you say something like that.
You really need to wake up and face the real world, okay? You are just an old lady now. Just look at all the other girls who are here. There are so many babes it almost makes me wish I wasn't getting married. And look at the guys too. I think we've assembled quite the array of hunks too.
Is that what you'd call them? Anyway, doesn't matter. This is your wedding, right? So you must have some kind of friendship or relationship to the people you've invited, no? Or did you really just pick your friends based on how good you thought they looked?
Oh, shut up. Don't pretend like you know me. Anyways, you're not a friend or family as far as I'm concerned. And just one glance around at the other guests should show you that you don't belong. Do me a favor and try not to talk to anyone on your way out. I don't need you bothering my friends.
I really don't think I need to talk to any of them anyways.
Everyone here, guys and girls, are way above you. They would never in a million years want to have anything to do with some old hag like you.
I do have to agree with you on one thing. There are certainly a lot of fabulous-looking people at this wedding. And Harry, aren't you set to take over your family company soon? I guess most of these guests must be high-ranking company officials or board members.
Yes, yes. I only surround myself with amazing people. Thank you for noticing. And don't go getting any bright ideas. They are wealthy and important men, and none of them are going to be interested in taking an old bag like you home. Now listen to what I'm telling you. Only the most beautiful young women are allowed. It's going to be the best wedding ever. So you need to listen to what I'm saying and go home right now.
Very well. I understand.
Excuse me, I can't seem to find you anywhere. Are you still here? I was hoping to be able to finally meet you. Have you not arrived yet?
Ah, Tom. I'm very sorry to say this, but I am actually on my way home.
I beg your pardon. Did something happen? Did you leave something important at home? Or are you not feeling well? Did you catch something?
No, it's nothing like that. The groom asked me not to attend the wedding and I don't want to spoil his special day.
He did what? What could he possibly have meant by telling you that?
Well, he said it was because there was an old high school dropout who was too wrinkly to be at the wedding rubbing shoulders with beautiful people. Or something along those lines. He also said that if I attended the wedding it would only embarrass Julie.
He said all that? You're telling me that my employee really said all those things?
Yes. I am embarrassed to even mention it, but it's true. I've heard of Bridezilla, but I don't know what you call this. Grimora?
That little plunk! Does he even realize what he's doing?
He might not be completely off base. Just the thought of embarrassing my sweet little sister on her big day. Well, I just couldn't stand the thought and decided it would be best if I just went home. I told Julie that I wasn't feeling well and that I couldn't stay any longer.
Wait just a moment, please. Is everything you're telling me right now true?
I know it sounds like a lot, but I'm really not the type to embellish.
I am sorry, terribly sorry for the awful things he said to you, ma'am. I would have never expected him to be capable of something like that. He's usually so respectful. Although, if I'm being honest, I guess I have noticed that he has a tendency to get quite full of himself at times. But to think he would take things so far! I can't tell, but feel responsible for letting it get this bad.
No, please don't worry yourself. It's possible he was just telling me what Julie was too afraid to say.
Nancy, you gave up everything you had and dedicated your life to raising Julie. To think that spoiled brat who has handed everything on a silver platter would try and rob you of the chance to be at your sister's wedding. It makes my blood boil.
I will admit that at first I was quite hurt by the things he said. And I think I may have panicked a bit because it all came so suddenly.
Of course, your feelings are completely justified.
But it's Julie's wedding. I've been looking out for her this long. I can manage this as well if it will make today better for her.
I very highly doubt that's true. Does Harry know all about the circumstances? As in he knows all that you gave to give Julie a happy life?
Yes. I tried to explain to him as best I could. But he seemed to be unable to grasp anything past the fact that I was a high school dropout who became a maid.
I see. I think I'm going to have a little talk with him real quick then.
Oh no, please don't bother yourself by doing that. As long as Julie is happy, that's really all I care about.
Are you absolutely sure about this? You know that you mean the world to her. I just can't see how suddenly leaving the wedding will bring Julie the happiness that I know you want for her.
Do you really think that?
Don't worry. I'll make sure Harry gets a strict talking to. So please, turn around and come back to be by your sister's side for this moment.
Why was my boss just yelling at me earlier? Did you go and tell him something you shouldn't have? And why was he even talking to you in the first place? Don't tell me you were trying to hit on him because you think he's handsome or something. I'm pretty sure I warned you about that.
That would be incorrect. Actually, the thing is, our companies have been planning to work together for some time now, so we arranged to have some meetings in the future.
What? What are you talking about? Did our company start a new contract with your cleaning service?
I don't work for a cleaning service anymore. Actually, I run a cosmetics company.
You mean like you're a store manager? Or you clean the store after everyone goes home?
I mean like I own the company.
What? You have your own company? But I thought you were just a high school dropout.
I am just a high school dropout. One who worked hard and eventually started her own company. And that's how I met Tom, your boss. And he wanted to formally introduce himself today, but you drove me away from the venue. So that's what I told him when he asked where I was.
Are you being serious right now? Why didn't you tell me all of this sooner?
Well, I don't like to mix my work life on my private life. And you don't really have anything to do with my work, so I didn't really think I needed to tell you anything. But because of that, you decided it was okay to bully me the way you did earlier.
Wow! So then, if Julie and I get married then, that would mean some big things for both of our companies, wouldn't it? All this could even end up in a merger between our two companies.
I told you that I don't like to mix my private and work life. Even though I explained it to you, you just won't listen. I think that bad habit of not listening will get you into trouble one day. Well, even more trouble.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? What kind of trouble do you mean?
I'm just saying that. You might have a pay cut in your future. Your boss seemed really mortified when he heard about what you did. I'm worried he might think I'm going to reconsider the deal I was making with him.
What? No! That was never my intention.
Well, you can explain that to him. I've already talked to him about this little incident, so it's quite out of my hands now. I should tell you that he spoke to your father, though.
He what? Why would he do that?
Well, your father owns your company, doesn't he? I'm sure Tom just wanted him to know about how you've been treating your future sister-in-law and future potential business partner.
Oh my God! I have to stop him.
It's too late. I've already spoken to your father. He came to apologize to me.
Wait, really? He apologized? Did he really do something like that?
Oh, yes. He did. He came to me begging for forgiveness. He said that he never thought his own son could be such a stupid, inconsiderate jerk.
Hold on a second. I don't think that was really called for.
Don't shoot the messenger. Well, in any case, it seems that most of your wedding guests are in agreement with that sentiment.
Now what is that supposed to mean? I'm sick of the way you've been talking to me. Stop all these dumb games and just tell me what you want to say.
I'm saying that all the pretty young women you were so happy to have at your wedding are packing up and going home.
Are you serious? Why are they doing that? They were supposed to make this day that much more beautiful. What did you tell them?
Yes, I'm sure that was the thing you were most looking forward to today. And just why are there so many beautiful women coming to your wedding anyways? Is it true that you even asked one of them out on a date?
Why are they doing that? I would never do that, and I won't tolerate any lies like that. And besides, I thought I told you not to talk to anyone at the wedding. Why did you open your big mouth?
I'm afraid that the whole thing was leaked out to the guests. Everyone heard about how the terrible groom went behind the poor bride's back and hit on one of the guests.
What the hell are you talking about? You better stop this. You don't even have any proof of the things you're accusing me of.
Well, I heard it straight from the poor girl's mouth. She seemed very upset.
I don't understand. And just why were any of the gorgeous girls talking to an old hag like you?
Yes, they are all young, beautiful, intelligent, and overall lovely young women. But they actually all have something else in common as well. They all work for me.
What are you talking about now?
Come on, Harry. This is so simple even a high school dropout can understand. All those lovely young women work at my company. They all came to celebrate Julie's special day. But once they heard that I had gone home, they all started to do the same, apparently.
Are you serious? So they were all just your employees?
Yes, weren't you listening? I'm the president of a cosmetics company. There are lots of pretty girls interested in entering the beauty industry, it seems. Of course, I'm not just hiring them because of their looks. But it has to be said that there are many gorgeous girls working under me.
I can't believe it. So they all work for your cosmetics company. Which means that's why. That girl really went and told you about what I said to her?
Yes, she told everyone. And while I was shocked, what was more shocking was the number of people who weren't shocked. It seems you've been pretty busy, haven't you? So many girls came forward after that with the same story. You really are just a horrible person down to your core, aren't you? I heard the same story so many times I felt sick.
No, you've got it all wrong. I was just inviting them out to eat, nothing else.
Why were you inviting girls out to eat at your own wedding? Were you really trying to use your wedding just to meet girls?
No. That's not it at all. I just thought it would be good to be able to reach them. For emergencies.
Well, you do know that all the girls came because they wanted to help Julie celebrate her wedding. All of them are her friends, and you tried to get in between those friendships.
No. You've got me all wrong. That's not what I was doing. I was just trying to make friends with Julie's friends. I thought the wedding would be a good way to get to know her friends better, that's all.
Well, anyways, the girls you were harassing the most all have boyfriends already. They explained everything to Julie not long after you talked to them.
They went to Julie and told her everything.
Everything. Including about how you looked down on me and called me an old woman. And then how you told me to come up with an excuse and leave the wedding.
Wait, just let me explain. Are you really trying to blow up my wedding right now? Do you think that doing this is going to make your little sister happy?
It's exactly because I want the best for my little sister that I told her the truth about everything. And even though it looks like the results might be the sweat and getting called off, I think that might just be for the best. It's much better than her being legally tied down to a scumbag like you.
Please. Just hold on a minute, you have to understand. If I get left at the altar like this, everyone will think I'm a horrible person.
Well, that sounds very fitting to me. I'm so glad you were kind enough to show me your true colors before the ceremony. I couldn't have rescued Julie from your evil clutches without all of your assistance today. And now that everyone has seen just what a horrible person you are, I hope your suffering is only beginning.
Subsequently, Julie, in tears, unleashed a forceful slap across Harry's face, right before the eyes of their wedding attendees. Following that, an official announcement was made declaring the cancellation of the wedding. Harry's father's wrath was unleashed, dashing all of Harry's aspirations of inheriting the company presidency or making quick progress within the organization. He was left abandoned and ostracized by both his colleagues and companions. No one desired any further association with such a despicable individual.